today we have a look at Article 2 of the Constitution of Kenya, which provides for the supremacy of the Constitution. What this article means is that the Constitution sticks at the top of all other laws in this country. We have various laws. We have acts of parliament. We have customary law. We have laws from other parliaments of other countries. And this means that indeed the Constitution is above all. Now, when we say supremacy of the Constitution, we also mean that it binds all state organs. This is to mean that the Constitution is the one that guarantees how state organs are supposed to function. When we were looking at Article 1 of the Constitution, we stated that the three arms of government are the judiciary, parliament, and the executive. That's what we mean when we say the Constitution binds all state organs. The same article goes on to state that this supremacy of the Constitution, or the exercise of this Constitution, shall only be exercised as authorized by the Constitution. That the Constitution provides for how the state authority is supposed to be exercised. Any person who wields state power and state authority must be in accordance with the Constitution. And this, we talk of people like the President, the Deputy President, the Cabinet Secretaries, members of the National Assembly, senators, members of the County Assembly. This is because they wield state authority, which must be exercised in accordance with the Constitution. The same Constitution has a defensive mechanism in it because we say it's the supreme law. There is no one in this country who can challenge the validity of this Constitution, be it in a court in Kenya or any court of law outside Kenya. That the Constitution is supreme, it's standalone, and its validity is guaranteed. No one can ever claim that this Constitution was passed wrongly or the procedure that was followed was wrong. And this is because a majority of Kenyans voted for this Constitution during the referendum. That is why its validity cannot be challenged. The same article provides that the Constitution supervises all other laws. And it goes ahead to state that any other law, including customary law, that is inconsistent with this Constitution is null and void to the extent of its inconsistency. This is to mean if a law is passed, a law that does not go in accordance to the provisions of the Constitution, that law will be declared invalid and unconstitutional at the very first instance. And true to this, you've seen very many courts in this country declare sections of the law to be unconstitutional. That is because either they did not follow the required procedure under law, or the reasons as to why that law was passed were to defeat the purpose of the Constitution. That's what Article 2 provides for. And this is to stem the authority that the Constitution has above other requirements of the law and other laws that we have in this country. The Constitution also agrees that general principles of international law, and these ones are principles that have been internationally accepted by all countries. These are principles that guide many other states when it comes to international law. That's why the Constitution also recognizes the part of general principles of international law in helping to achieve the legal effect in this country. And this will mean that once that general principle becomes a part of the law in Kenya, the Constitution still stays at the top. As much as this is international law, the Constitution, which is a domestic law, still tops at that position because the Constitution is supreme. We also go ahead to look at the provisions of Article 2, Sub-Article 6 of the Constitution, which provide that if Kenya today signs any treaty, any convention, and by a treaty I mean an international agreement or a convention, a forum where any state can send its representative, if Kenya today becomes a party or a member state to any treaty or convention, the provisions of that treaty and convention form part of the laws of Kenya. And this does not mean that now the Kenyan Constitution is put lower. It still tops this chart, that the Kenyan Constitution becomes supreme above all these others, including international law. Through this, we can indeed tell how important this Constitution is, how important it is to understand the provisions of the Constitution. Why? Because it is the supreme law, because the supremacy of the Constitution is guaranteed. So today, I invite you to kindly have a look at Article 2 of the Constitution and have to realize why this Constitution is very important for us as Kenyans, why this Constitution must be protected, must be obeyed and adhered to. So today, on the Grundnorm, we've looked at the supremacy of the Constitution, and we still hold the fact that it is the Grundnorm because it is the supreme law. So for today, I hope you've learned something about the supremacy of the Constitution. Next time, we will be looking at Article 2 of the Constitution. I hope you'll be tuned in. And as we always say, make it a norm to watch the Grundnorm. Thank you.